Hi everybody, it's October 20th, 2018. It's Saturday. I'm going to show something that I think might be helpful, and it happens a lot, especially on an NQ. We see price suddenly go into one of these fast, hard sell-offs, and it provides a lot of opportunity to scalp some momentum. It also can be kind of frightening to watch because it moves very quickly and seems sometimes to bounce out of nowhere while you're in a trade and stops you out. So there's a few little things that could help, and one of the most important things is to really map out your levels before any of these incidents occur so you can anticipate where price might move freely, as in like a gap area where there's nothing in the way. I like to say no obstacles in the way. And I find these levels fairly easily. I can do them on a 1-minute chart, a 30-minute chart. I do various things, but just for ease of demonstration, I'm going to show here on a 1-minute. Now this is before yesterday's sell-off that happened around 12 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. Not a time I usually trade, but you can't always control when incidents happen. Things can be announced, certain things happen, and whatever little trend you thought you were in can suddenly just vanish and you're in the midst of a snowballing move. All right, let's look at this chart from yesterday. This is right before the sell-off happened. I'd mapped out a few areas. First on some of these longer term charts. If we zoom out, we can see this was an area where price interacted with quite a bit, where my little arrow is here, so I mapped that out. Here was an area that price, one of the last, this is the low of the day, and this is like the second lowest, and where price never went any further, moved back up. It's simple price action. Don't need any market profile or anything complicated. So immediately I'm seeing some things. If we break through this area with a lot of momentum, and I can time this on my 2-range chart, we're probably going to get to this area. And then it could bounce. If it breaks through here, very good chance that we get to this. Now this was a level from the previous day I mapped out. One of the last low prices of the afternoon that was tested several times. Let me move back here. That price never got through, and that was towards the close. And then we had the low of the previous day, mark that off, and then we have the second low here. Another area that price never got back below and moved up. So these are all areas that I can work with when I'm scalping. Okay, so again, get through this level, we can get to here. We get through that level, we can get to here and here. But there's going to generally be bounces at these levels. Okay, now let's look at what happened on the 2-range chart. Now keep in mind, I also map out the levels on the 2-range chart, pretty much where I had them here. So when in the heat of the moment I don't have, and I see these red lines popping up, I know if price hits them, there's a good chance I better get out because I could have to suffer a 20-30 tick bounce. A lot of people don't map these levels out and they wonder, why is price bouncing 20 ticks for no reason? Well, it's because it's hitting these areas. Okay, let's look at what happened here in some of the opportunities. Keep in mind I've marked out the same levels as I did on my other chart. Here's where we really see something starting to happen. I mean, yes, there was an opportunity here when this bottom was broken out. That could have been scalped. You can see the bounce there. Price really making a series of these thrusts. That's when you really know, when you see these just really fast thrusts, that we're definitely starting to get a sell-off here. Okay, so look what happens when it hits this little area that I mapped out. bounce. You see this a lot in my videos. I'll hit a target, price bounces the other way. It looks like, wow, that's good timing. No, I just really mapped it out. Okay, price starting to come back down. I'd be eyeing this up for a second pop right through this here. This is a nice little entry. These are all easily 20 ticks. Some are going to be much bigger. This one, we're in one of those little areas. Had a bounce, but not a real big bounce. And it keeps going down. Why? Because there's no support there until we hit this. Now look what happens. Pop. So there's one you could really ride out 40, 50 ticks, maybe more. I'm not good at figuring that out just looking at it, but really good trade there. So we know if we break through this next level, we've got some gap area too. Price tries a few times to go up, forms a box, and now we've got another trade here. And this one's another big winner. Why? Gap area. Nothing in the way. Okay, about to hit a level that I mapped out. What's happening? It's bouncing. Bouncing pretty good. But is it going up now, or do we got another downward opportunity? We're in a very strong sell-off. When you see these kinds of moves, and there's several scalping opportunities here. And these are big scalps, 40, 50, 60 tick scalps. You don't always get big gaps like this. Okay, so we've gotten into another box here. I look for these little boxes where there's been 3 or 4 attempts on either side, and here's the break. You've got yourself another trade, and all we're watching is it going to break through here. And if it does, we're going to race to the next level of support. Okay, now it's approaching another area that I mapped. I'd be out already with my target, easily 40, 60 ticks there. And look at that, pops up. That was that second low price of the previous day. Okay, I hope this was helpful. That's it for today, but it shows you that if you know your levels, you've got a tremendous momentum, you can really take advantage of some of these sell-offs.